Content warning. This is a horror game and it's not intended for all audiences. Please visit our website if you need a full list of the content warnings. Slay the Princess contains flickering image effects as well as a parallax effect that mirror cages cause motion sickness in players. Why are my glasses so... Beep. I'm sure it'll be fine. Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. There are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. Interesting. So this is Slay the Princess. I saw about 10 minutes of this game. Somebody else was playing it, and I was like, that looks interesting. I've got to check this out. So that's what I'm doing. This is in fact a horror game. I don't know if I'm going to make it part of my Week of Spooky Stuff. If I do, then welcome to the Week of Spooky Stuff. If I don't, then welcome to Karn Plays Slay the Princess, which is also good. I think... I don't know what this is. It's the game developer stuff, controls. Alright, let's just get into it, I guess. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
End of the world? What are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it? Can't someone else do this? Forget. This is like the lazy option. Forget it. I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? You get some sort of reward for doing this? Oh, okay. Thanks for telling me what to do. Sweet. I always wanted to offer Monarch. People love her, but Lucia. So I get to turn around and leave. This is what I liked about it, is there's so many options. And the voice work seems like it's really good. So, let's see what he's talking.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people.
That is the least problematic, in my opinion. But how can a princess locked in the way of the basement end the world? I like this kind of, what do you call? I like that you can be like skeptical right away, because that is exactly what I would be. If you don't tell me why she's dangerous, I'm not going to kill her. I have this thing where I read what I think it's gonna be, and then my brain's like, no, wait, that's wrong. I hate that. Do you have any evidence to back this up? Have you considered that maybe like that killing person?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you. Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey. Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
It's the slaying part, really. That it's not so much. Okay, I'm sold.
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
Huh.
It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Huh. I think this one is something I like the most. Either this or just silently going because I don't trust the narrator.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
Right, but projecting maybe?
Then each and every one of us is doomed.
Well, you're kind of annoying, so I don't mind that.
Sure, go talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
Cool.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Who are you? Are you me?
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Huh. Take the blade into the basement. So the thing that I watched...
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
I like that. I like that he's like pushing you towards the thing he wants you to do. The thing that I watched, they just grabbed the knife, went in the basement, and just stabbed her. So that's not how I would play it out. So I'm gonna do what I think I'm gonna do.
Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
Easy, buddy.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Maybe the game thinks that I'm doing this for a certain reason. Hi? This is like excited hi. Hey, I think I'm here to slay you. See you down the stairs.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please, come downstairs.
This also seems manipulative. Everybody's manipulating me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
What about this one? Did she break this one?
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
This is actually pretty difficult. Let's talk a bit first.
Okay. Oh.
She pauses,
I like this art
carefully
style.
formulating her words before she responds.
I like the big eyes, very expressive.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long, I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name, though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hasn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
I guess I should read these. I'll read them from now on. Let's see. Getting you out of here, blah blah blah. Retrieve the blade without saying another word. Sorry, but I guess I can't trust you. Let's talk more. I don't know anything about you. For all I know, you're locked down here for a reason. Let's see what's been going on around here.
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant.
You're both suspicious.
Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right? The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter. It's not like you'd believe me.
I can't respond to that. Hmm. Let's tell her why we're here. Oh, she just makes a face. I like these choices. She makes a face, and then it's these choices.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think.
I do too. I live there.
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
That's... How long has she been locked away?
Did they tell you how I'm supposed to end the world?
I don't like these two. I'm sure they have their reasons for keeping information a secret. No, which is why I don't think you're actually dangerous. I was hoping you'd tell me. I've been told enough. Remain silent. I'd like to just say no. This is actually tough.
I don't know how to destroy the world, if that's what you're getting at.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. I don't trust that. And I don't think you do either, or you wouldn't have come down here to talk.
She has a point. We're talking like this for a reason.
So this shouldn't be about what I'd do if I got out of here, or me saying the right thing to convince you to save me. This is about how messed up this whole situation is. This is my life we're talking about. Do you really think I can even end the world? Why would I even want to?
I didn't until you started acting weird.
We both know that if there's people we can't trust in this situation, it's whoever locked me down here, and it's whoever sent you here. And those two groups are probably one and the same.
Don't let her turn the tables here. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
I've seen Ex Machina, so I know how this can turn bad. I don't know anything about you. For all I know, you're locked down here for a reason. I won't kill you, but I can't just set you free. It's too risky. What if I stayed for a while, just kept you company? Maybe then everyone could be happy. I'm going to keep you locked away down here, at least for a little bit. We can get to know each other. I'm sorry, but I just can't trust you. This doesn't add up, and it isn't worth the risk to take you over the potential fate of the world. Yep. I mean, people lock people away for absolutely no reason all the time. So I'm gonna save this.
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
I don't think I could bear being down here that much longer.
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
Yeah, but she's been down here for...
So I'm the only one who liked that idea.
Yeah, they both don't like it.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. It would make it easier for both of us if you'd help. But if you don't, I can promise that you'll regret that decision.
Ooh, threats.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
Retrieve the blade, get her out of here, lock her in the basement. I could just get this. This isn't making. This is just getting the blade. Also, spooky music is playing, and your face looks like a little scary. I like this game so much. It hasn't even done much yet. It's very cool. This is an RPG, man. This is role-playing at its finest. I don't know why they call games with, like, numbers for strength RPGs, but this is great. Retrieve the blade. Should I get this? This introduces a weapon into the situation, right? Which can make things bad. This lets her go, which she's just started to be threatening to me. This sides with this guy, which I don't trust. I don't like any of these. Fuck it, let's let her go.
You can't be serious.
Thank you. Thank you. You won't regret this, I promise.
Stop with the fucking... Talk to me like you're you.
You're making a huge mistake.
You be quiet too.
No. I think you're doing the right thing.
Uh-huh.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
Uh-huh.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
No,
Maybe
lady.
it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
Yeah.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
That's interesting.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to.
There's a window right here.
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her own mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
Jesus.
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
I like the game a lot, but there are points where it gets binary, where I feel like it shouldn't be. That I don't like so much. Let's do it.
Fine. Against your better judgment,
Duh.
you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the
My hands.
princess's arm, just above the unyielding
Am I a dragon?
chain binding her to this place.
That doesn't hurt.
Cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal.
Yeah, she's some...
No, she didn't.
She's something.
She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
At this point, you have no choice.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world.
Are you here?
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Ooh.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Resist.
The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
Stabby, stabby, stabby.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands.
This is interesting.
What are you doing?
The cursor also matches your hand, which is cool.
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
Lady.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Thanks.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake.
That's not really... Okay.
For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your
The
legs
artwork
give
is
out
great.
beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over.
Fuck you.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Well, she seemed to care about it at that. The damsel. What was the first chapter called?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Do it again.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Getting a terrible sense of deja vu. Wait, hasn't this happened already? Okay, no. But I died. What am I doing here? Oh, you bastard. You're in for it now. My two tricks.
I can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he?
Voice of
If
the
we're going
smitten.
to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Our beloved. Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess.
Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love.
Didn't say
The
that.
4 of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works.
4 of us? Okay. Who's 4? Voice of the hero, voice of the smitten, I guess me, and then the princess.
We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek.
What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
That's a bit much. Let's assume I'm telling the truth. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything? Okay.
Those are 2 very different questions, but
Yes.
fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
I wouldn't ask.
You were the one who did us in, villain.
Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything
This
you
is
could
great
to
voice
stop
work.
us from rescuing her. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. No lone princess is worth that price.
I beg to differ.
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to take a deep breath and assume that whoever is making the decisions here has the common sense to ignore your protestations. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it seems to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
Okay.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died?
I don't know, because I was dead.
Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
I don't know.
She would never. She's a perfect angel that you cruelly imprisoned as part of some convoluted, dastardly scheme.
Convoluted. I don't know how this premise could be any more simple. Princess bad, stop her, save everyone.
Let's talk about this princess.
Just be quick about it.
The only reason she was even able to kill me last time is because I let her. She could barely hold a knife. How is she supposed to end the world? Who locked me in this Who locked her in this basement? What is this place?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
It's kind of like the game talking to me like, come on, play the game, man. People locked her away. Why didn't they slay her? Why is this falling on me?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
Calling us special isn't going to make us friends, even if it did feel nice.
I like the writing,
Oh,
too.
believe me,
So good.
the last thing I want is for you and I to be friends.
Me too, I
I'm
agree.
a professional, and I'm not going to let my dislike for you get in the way of helping you save the world.
You're being cagey. Why aren't you telling me?
I told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
Uh-huh.
Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word.
Huh.
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you.
Okay.
Maybe it's her beauty that threatens the world.
I hate this one.
Sure, it's her beauty. Why not? And before you ask, no, we can't just keep her down there. If you don't slay her, she's going to find a way out.
Yeah, she
it's
almost did.
unfortunate,
She
I
chewed
know,
her-
but it's
her
just
arm
the
off.
way it is.
Right.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Let's not take sides. Let's go and figure stuff out.
A warning before you go any further.
Uh-huh.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from...
We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice.
I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead. The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries.
This is
A
different.
prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
This is super different.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Very different.
Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
Huh.
So focus up. Stop letting yourself get distracted.
I think we need to save. Oop. Skip. Save. This one. That has the time on it. That's weird. Okay.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
I'm sure the princess would tell us there was a mirror if she were up here.
In which case she'd be lying to you because, again, there isn't a mirror.
I want to see how handsome I am.
Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? If you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago.
And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
Do I have feathers? Huh. Should I take this or should I take this or leave it? I'm still kind of committed to not doing violence until it's necessary, so let's go.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear
This is making me hate her,
already.
actually.
I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning.
Yes, I agree with you, voice of the
For
hero.
everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation.
It'd be funny if the narrator is actually just the right one.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
You look different.
There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
Face is the same. I think the dress is different.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you, right?
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Oh, your spirit's plenty now, alright.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
What?
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
And she called us a hero.
He's into that.
Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
That's right, villain. And you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
Is she chained to the wall? I guess so.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right.
So the
this
narrator does know that there's multiple things going on here, there's multiple timelines going on.
Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise.
Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
I really enjoy this. Okay. You killed me last time and it hurt a lot. Why did you do that? I didn't bring a knife. Do I have to cut you out again? What happened after I died? I have to ask. Did the world end after you killed me back there? I'm sorry about what happened last time. The narrator sent me here trying to kill you. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. Alright, what happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
Thanks. That... okay.
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips.
Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
No, I don't want the world to end. I have no feelings one way or the other about the world. Kind of, honestly, the world sucks. People aren't playing it. I hope you brought a slow and painful ruin to them all. Kind of this one.
You're being honest. I can't believe that the fate of the entire world is left in the hands of a nihilist. The princess shifts in uncomfortable confusion.
Me too. I don't care.
She wasn't confused for long.
If she doesn't care, then clearly she didn't end the world. It would take a great desire for evil to do something so inconceivable, and our dearest has not an ounce of cruelty within her. All is well, and it's high time we rescued our beloved.
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
No.
Did we?
We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone.
She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
Uh-huh.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird?
She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted.
She might be a monster.
And slay her. If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
Kind of hate this version of her too.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually.
That's because she's perfect.
Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do?
Hmm.
She doesn't. There's no one else like me.
I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
This is so well written.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, I'll...
You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her?
I would if you had a weapon.
Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
Okay, hold on here for a second. Not my watch, villain. My passions contain... Sorry, I got a message on my phone, and I had to read it. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try to... Alright, I'm back. I'm back.
You wouldn't.
I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her?
You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed.
I enjoy the writing of this so much.
I can't believe it. Guess I have to.
How come this isn't listed as a comedy? The writing is so good.
I told you. There's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved.
Listen, I ain't no Jon Snow, okay? I'm not doing things that
Luckily
way.
for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
Good question. What do we do now?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before. I mean, you sort of did last time, but this is different.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave, and I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I would like to play Street Fighter. I want you to tell me what you want. There must be something you want. You want to end the world. I just want to leave. We can figure out the rest later. If you want to leave, then let's leave.
I just want to make you happy.
Yeah, this is a little creepy.
She can't just want to make us happy.
Yeah, now it's getting into kind of
Makes
horror.
sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
Yeah, this is a little weird. Things are just... I want you to make me unhappy, too. Oh, there's so many. Let's see.
Okay, I'll find something else to want if that makes you happy.
Is she broken? What's going on? What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting to trust me now?
Okay, if that's what makes you happy.
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right. I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's a big deal.
I just want to make you happy.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're alone right now? Like we're the only ones here?
That was different. You don't get the chance to ask another question. Something has taken her away, and it's left something else in her place.
No! She was our perfect match. She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? Is that a... Why is it here? Why now?
The narrator is gone.
He is. Does that mean the world ended? A villain vanquished.
I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror.
There's something dreadful about it. Yes. I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt.
It's funny that they don't like the mirror, too.
I'm begging you, don't do this.
Ignore him. You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. Ooh. It's you. Can't really make it out. Just the arm. You are alone in a place that's empty. It's quiet here. Proceed to the cabin? Huh. We're at the cabin. Approach her.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Is she like an old, she's like an old god?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
I guess I'm probably darkness, I would say.
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
Do we know each other?
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you. I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free. How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Strong point.
She is part of me, and part of me is her. You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Yeah. I don't feel like she's in there. I feel like this is the real thing.
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. I know only that they are. Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart.
I molded her? I didn't do shit.
Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose. I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt.
Alright, well that's good to know. What happens now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
So it's like a what are those games called? Like a dating sim, I guess, or whatever it's called. Go see what else is in store for you, and then the final chapter will be there. I bet this was inspired by the Literature Club game. I forget the name of it. Doki Doki Literature Club. At least some inspiration for that.
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
You're being semantic. What are you gonna do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Oh, you old gods, always being all weird and vague.
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. Everything, until we meet again. More than you have found,
But less
but
than there
less
are
than
to
there are
find.
to find.
I am infinite.
I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
Interesting.
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
Okay.
She asks that I tell you to remember her.
So she is in there?
You won't.
Ooh. That was cool.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
That was so cool. Let's do another one.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay. The end of the world, what are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason killing the princess seems kind of bad that it can't someone else do this? Forget it, I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Sweet, I've always... turn around and leave.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Okay, fine, you're persistent. I gotta go, but alright, fine, I'll go to the cavern and talk to the princess. Maybe I won't, maybe I'll slay her, maybe I won't, I guess. Yes, I definitely... Nope. There's only one thing that matters. I'm not going to the cavern. I'm not going to the cavern. I'm actually pretty okay with the world ending. I realize the idea, the coming of new dawn beyond our own. Gonna go walk in the opposite direction now. Quietly continue. I like that one.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it.
I don't know if that's true.
Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all. You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
I don't care, I'm not killing a princess. Good, maybe I should... You're not emotionally blackmailing me into doing this.
Your silence is deafening. But fine. You turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll start working again. In fact, I'm going to just keep tracking the list of...
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will. And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
Wait, what's going on?
But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
I do.
You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
That makes it seem like you did it. Chapter 2, The Stranger.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Oh, there's a wall around
You're
it now.
here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I'm getting this terrible sense of deja vu. Yeah, I get it. I'm going to the cats. Stay in the woods forever. Let's see. Let's talk about the walls.
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience.
He might have walled off everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we can ruin his day. If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world hasn't ended yet, and you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Can't run away from it. I'll just stay here in the woods forever. Stay in the woods
Well,
forever.
that's clever. A little boring. It's extremely boring. Can we really do that?
No, you can't just do nothing. You have to do something.
Alright, so it's decided. Even if it's boring, we're going to do nothing. Forever.
Congratulations, you continue to waste everyone's time and do nothing. Wait, can you still hear me?
What is that weird feeling? It's like I'm barely even hearing it. Well, it's not nothing, that's for sure. Does that mean we messed up?
In the world around you is unround. Its physical matter replaced by a textured nothing. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Memory returns. There is a distant rumbling, sound of many sounds. Undulations pulse louder as something other comes close. You already know what dwells in the empty spaces. Hello. High five. Feel this program extremities, find your consciousness, and wrap themselves around it. You are no longer alone. Confusion. Why are you here? I am unfinished. Resistance. Fingers drag claws across the glass surface of your soul. Frustration. This vessel is full of you. It is useless to us if it doesn't bring more gifts. Force pushing against your will. No, you cannot go back. Not there. Regret. This world is broken beyond repair. We must weave something new. Oh, is it unhappy? Is it unhappy that I didn't meet the princess and bring a version of her? That's interesting. Ooh. Denial. Return to your destined path that remains the constant.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to sleep.
Right. Oh, I can't not go.
Are you serious? No, you have to do it. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. The
Actually
interior
curious
of the
what to
cabin
do
is
now.
almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted. The blade is your implement.
Yeah, okay, I'll take it.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Okay. Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp. A hint of rot filled her voice carried.
Who's there?
Ooh.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
The mood changes when you have the knife.
Focus
huh?
on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
No. I'm just here to talk.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
I want to see how far I can go without murdering this lady.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
She's gonna kill me.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
We'll be fine.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
She hesitates before answering.
That's the name.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty.
No,
Note
it's the
the
same
lack
thing.
of detail.
Do you? So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking.
She's got a point.
too long.
Again, she offers no specifics, no matter how hard.
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relation.
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Oh, have you decided what to do?
You know why you're here.
Well, let's try getting her out again.
You have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to... You attempt to make your way out of the basement.
Yeah,
Someone
get
else
locked
here.
in again. I don't need to try the door.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked the knife. Pick it up and...
You won't like what happens.
Alright. Get her out.
Against your better judgment,
This is the same.
place the blade against the princess as you cut into her. But the blade is... She didn't so much as... Free from... How is she so...
Thank you.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. As the princess approaches the... Wait, this isn't fair. You can't watch me. Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves. Stop it! Stop! The blade. Move the...
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
Is she actually gonna kill me really quick this time?
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she
kinda
watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Interesting. Prisoner.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is you're here to slay her. A terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
This one's
And as
interesting.
far as
Okay.
trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
I'm pretty sure this whole thing really
We could
just
go
happened.
back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job.
Let's assume until after the what would I listen to? Alright, let's go.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will
Yes,
we know.
yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go.
Did you just say wink out loud?
I should
No,
let
I
that
didn't.
crop.
Wink.
Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Proceed into the cabin. I wonder if I could have tried leaving again.
The interior of the
Ooh,
cabin
it's
is
different now.
less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement.
Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
Interesting.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Interesting.
Does she remember us? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap.
Oops, that's not what I wanted. No, it's okay, we can keep going.
Should we be worried about the one around her neck?
Huh.
Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier.
Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
Interesting.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
My intentions? What do you mean? I've been here before. I'm the only one who remembers that.
Oh, are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
First you make a comment about having been here before, and now this.
Huh.
As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things. It's complicated things how, exactly?
I like the skeptic.
Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency.
A contingency for what?
Huh.
For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else. I'm just going to make
he
it
does.
worse. Just good luck.
He does know exactly what's going on.
If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly valuable information. It would have changed our actions considerably.
I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there. It's important. Necessary, even. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative.
That's pathetic.
I never said I wasn't.
I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that.
Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright?
Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark?
The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that.
I won't.
Fine, but you won't get another word from me on the matter.
Yeah, sure. We'll see about that.
Give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Get it? Because he's skeptical.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming. Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything.
The dress does
Maybe
change.
both
The
of us
crown,
are stuck
too.
in this loop without any idea why or how.
That other chain on the wall, who's it for?
Let me borrow that knife. Don't worry. You'll get it back.
Stab me.
That's ominous.
She seems confident. Whatever it is she has planned, I think she knows what she's doing.
Please, she's just putting on an act to disarm you. That much should be obvious. In case you need to hear a voice of reason, it would obviously be unwise to give away your only weapon.
Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
So, what should we do?
I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you.
That doesn't sound great. What about the pros?
There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. And whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
I like you, the skeptic. Alright, let's see. Let's ask about the intentions.
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, and I don't see any keys in your hands either. So I'm afraid my only way out is another surgical removal.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck?
Or does she think she'd survive a beheading?
You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her.
Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
I'm so curious as to what you're gonna do.
I don't know, but you could always try it on.
Hmm.
Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world. I wouldn't do that if I were you.
And why is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle, and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
I don't know. Maybe it will.
He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am.
Let's inspect it.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next. What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck.
Had a feeling.
And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement.
Excuse me?
Yes? Are we stuck here now?
Become your own jailer.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
Well, we've got time to talk at least.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
No, there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
So we're both stuck here. What should we do?
Yep. Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not.
Not one for small talk, are you?
Nope.
That's rude.
She doesn't say anything. Wait in silence.
You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here.
I can't reach this?
Must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent.
At least the world is safe.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything. But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How exactly does that work?
It just does. But your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even more time passes again. And let me guess, the cabin remains the same.
If time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first.
Bit
a bit
of
of weathering
weathering.
here, a
So
bit
are
of
we
erosion
are
there.
mortal here?
But then they get larger and larger.
I don't like small talk, remember?
This is small talk. This is like what we're doing.
Still rude.
You continue to
That's
wait
cool.
in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happens to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
So are we both? Maybe we're both the same being, and the only way that they can control us is to have us live out the scenario over and over again? Where's the blade
Even
go?
more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass, until suddenly there are no walls. And then... And?
Oh, she's outside, so then the narrator disappears.
I think he's gone.
Yep, there it is.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us. So this is the outside world. It's cold.
There she goes. But you do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again.
So I always
Why is
have
it
to
here?
meet
Why
her.
now?
Of course you're scared. This is the end for you, but it's not the end for me. I'm going to be okay. Just trust me. And you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
Okay. If you say so, I'll trust you.
Feels too good to be true.
Interesting. You approach the mirror, gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. The bloat? You've grown. You've grown. Really? Have I? I don't see a difference. Or in the mirror I've grown? It's interesting. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. This is an interesting game, I gotta say. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
When I found you in the long quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me wither? But your commitment now is final. Your ability to walk the path of mutual annihilation is vanished with your return. If you still wish to obliterate me, it will have to wait until I am complete.
Your ability is vanished. Mutual annihilation is vanished with your return. If you still wish to obliterate me... Ha!
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again. Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
When I go back, it's as if, why can I not do the same things I've done before?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
I see. Okay.
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
Oh, that's cool.
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
This is what I like. You have been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. Thank you. You have been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. Why? That's interesting. I like that. What do you want me to bring you next time? Do you have any thoughts on this vessel?
This one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart.
So I wonder.
Warn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer.
I wonder if the endings I bring her change the final outcome. That would be interesting. I don't want to hurt you, but the more times I go back, the worse I fear things will be.
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them, you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence. Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
Interesting. Destroy your body. That's interesting.
My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
I'm not sure if I like that. That sounds like, what's that word? I can't think of the word. Molding, how many more vessels do I need to bring you?
If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. You will have your rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you. Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
I'm ready to go back. I find this game super interesting. I think I should cut it off there. How long has it been? It's been a while. Let's go back.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am.
Okay.
We will meet again.
Ooh. This is a great game. Slay the Princess on Steam. I think I'm gonna save here. Definitely check it out. It is very interesting. I'm gonna keep playing it, I think, and I'm gonna keep recording while I play. But for now, let's take a break, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.